Hello friends, welcome to CEC Gurukul Lectures. Dear friends, this is our another session on career counseling called Pratibha Samvardhan. Dear friends, today's topic is very interesting, and this topic is somewhere taking me back to the memory lanes. There were the days when I was in school and was very curious that when will I go to college. I kept on asking questions, and I kept on imagining how will be those days when I will be in college. And yes, it was a big transition when I landed in college directly from school. Yes, dear friends, we are talking on transition from school to college. What transition does it brings? It is a matter of curiosity for you because you have not yet landed in college and you have thousands and thousands of dreams. All your dreams will be fulfilled, all your queries will be solved, because today we are going to have this vivacious session, and here we are help you in imagining, in bringing a positivity in your minds, in your thoughts. Dear friends, for this discussion we have with us in our studios Miss Urvashi Sareen. Miss Urvashi Sareen is a counseling psychologist, and she has 19 years of experience both in the area of human resources and education. She keeps on motivating the students because she believes that our youth, our youngsters, our children has immense power, and that's why she makes persistent efforts. Currently, she is working with GD Goenka Public School, Sarita Vihar, and there she serves as a psychologist, a counselor, and yes, as I said, she keeps on making positive efforts everywhere she goes. So let's welcome our guest, Miss Urvashi Sareen. Hello ma'am, welcome to the lecture.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So as per our topic of discussion today, we are going to talk on various, I would say various areas in the sense, because when we say that we are heading towards a new stream, a new area, a new road, and that new road starts from the school and it takes you somewhere to the college, because the two different worlds are automatically the beautiful worlds in our life when we go back to the memory lane, as I said. So we are, thrilled with the curiosity as well as with lots of dream that once we will be in the college, our life is going to change. And yes, the life changes.
Yes.
So what do we expect? What kind of transition do we expect when we land from school to the college?
Absolutely. So I think what happens is that any transition, any change brings along a lot of uncertainty, a lot of questions in our mind, confusion, and that causes stress and anxiety because we don't know what to expect. And that is probably, so if I particularly explain the transition, it happens in 3 phases. The first phase is that of the uncertainty, confusion, chaos in our mind, sometimes the fear of change or the fear of the unknown that sets in. Gradually, as we land up in a place with the change, there are a lot of confusions in children's mind, especially in the first year of college, because many of them, they just land up in a course. They're not sure which subjects to study. They're not sure if it is the right place for them to be in. So they're still exploring themselves. They're exploring different aspects of themselves. So you can expect little low productivity in the first year of college. And I would suggest that let that be. Take time to adjust. And finally, the third phase comes in, which is that of adaptation. And once you adapt to the new learning environment, you understand the scheme of things, you start feeling a sense of belongingness, and that is where you feel accomplished. So that's how I feel that, a whole process of transition takes place. Yes, there will be multiple challenges that comes through, but that's the beauty, that you jump in and you will swim through.
That's the beauty. Though we are going to talk a lot more on what you have already explained, but before going that, because we are already in a world which we call school. Now, the college scenario would be entirely different. So how would you differentiate? How would you differentiate in terms of the environment, in terms of everything which we might have not thought about? So how would you explain the environment, the life of both the premises?
Yeah, so if you see, schools are a very protective environment. It's like a cocoon, in your own shell. You're very protective. Within the four walls of a classroom, you have a scheduled timetable. The teachers would come as per the time. They would give you assignments, and then you go back home at when the bell rings. Whereas in college, I think the major learning happens beyond the classroom, So you are exploring, you're learning from peers, you're observing. A lot of opportunities come your way, debating society, cultural society. So a lot of skills are getting learned outside the classroom. In school, if you see, there is a fixed schedule for everything. Whereas in, the college environment, students have to juggle on their own. So they have to learn to prioritize. So there's a lot of time management, leadership that needs to be learned. Similarly, if you see the examination pattern, that also changes because annual examination system in schools with half yearly very defined that this is how it is going to happen. In colleges, it is more of semester-based system. So from academic perspective, from cultural perspective, it's very different, And not only children, I think it is a whole family gets a change in environment because mothers, especially Indian mothers, are child has to go to school तो मुझे सुबह सुबह breakfast बना के भेजना है टिफिन पैक करना है कॉलेज में मम्मा nobody brings food हम कैंटीन से खा लेंगे so ये वाले changes न्यू चीज़ें बच्चे एक्सप्लोर करना चाहते हैं पेरेंट्स के लिए भी कल्चरल शॉक होता है so as a family बहुत सारी चीज़ें हमारे अंदर बदलती हैं when we are in that transition phase that the parents still feel that he's a child कभी खुद travel नहीं किया रहा हमेशा स्कूल बस में गया एक बड़े प्रोटेक्टिव अब उसको खुद से ट्रैवल करना है बसों में मेट्रो में कैसे भी करके पहुंचना है सो बहुत सारे ये हैसल्स सो टू से डेली वाले जो हैं दे हैड नॉट एंटिसिपेटेड which they land up in. Similarly, college में you're expected to be more self-reliant. कोई आपको बैठ के नहीं बताएगा कि इस बुक में से ये पैराग्राफ कॉपी कर लो या ये इसका आंसर है. You have to do your own research. You have to go to libraries. You have to assemble research projects. Very practical orientation. So yeah, I think lot of difference between schools and college environment per se.
Yes, as you yourself said, that one has to do his or her own work by himself or herself. It is like painting your own canvas.
Yes,
you have a canvas that is called college, and now you have to paint it yourself. Now, how does school prepare the students for the college? Because school plays an important part in one's life. So, in present scenario, how schools or what job schools are doing right now?
I think as the education system is evolving. As the education system is evolving, it is, something that schools are also trying to bridge as a gap because this gap is getting realized now that what employability skills are required once the child grows out of a, career or a course, it has to start building from the school level because it's like a stepwise ladder. So schools are also trying to, work on this because what happens is that children, they get more stressed or worried because they don't know what to expect. They have never seen the environment of a college. They have never seen how a curriculum is delivered in college. So a lot of handshake between schools and universities is happening. Many colleges are reaching out to schools to provide hands-on internships to students. Which could be a summer internship, which could be a week long. Nowadays, with the privilege of online, there are organizations who are giving you, the colleges who are giving you projects to do. And that gives you an idea about how to carry on research, how to help out, how do you work in labs. So there are, in fact, colleges who do young leaders program. And as young leaders, the skills of entrepreneurship, the skill of critical thinking, these are all done through simulated activities. Of course, college campuses are also working on induction and orientation. And I think AI and virtual reality is helping here because many of the college websites use augmented reality and virtual reality to give you a real-time virtual tour of the campus. So that gives a lot of comfort to the students that I know where I'm entering, I know how a lab functions, I know how a classroom looks like. So it helps in settling down those initial hiccups, anxieties, and worries that children have. So I think that is another way to look at, how the schools are helping children transition to universities.
Yes, as you have already explained that how AI is playing an important part. There were the times when the student used to do a couple of things after completing the school, but now we have seen number of courses have been incorporated in school curriculum only.
Yes.
And for the students it becomes easier when he or she enters into college. He's already, acquainted with that particular subject because he is aware of he's aware with that subject.
Absolutely.
So it helps the student कि चलो ये तो हो जाएगा academically हमें इतनी दिक्कत नहीं आने वाली because we already know what the subject is about. Now because as I already said that school was a different environment and now college is a different environment. Apart from your academics, there are lots and lots of other things. You have to maintain your relationship with your friends also. You need to be a good looking also as
Yes.
The world is changing and it becomes the part and parcel of life. We cannot deny from the fact that we can only persuade our kids or motivate our kids, no, you need to study only. तो वो जो बड़ा सा canvas जिसकी हम बात कर रहे हैं, जो वो खुद पेंट कर रहे हैं, उसमें बहुत सारी चीजें पढ़ाई के अलावा. So how difficult or how easy it is for one to get adapted that particular thing?
देखिए मेरे हिसाब से ये होता है कि जब हम एक किसी भी न्यू जगह पे जाते हैं एंड स्पेशली एज अ यंग एडल्ट सो वी आर मैच्योरिंग, वी आर इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ इवॉल्विंग एंड वो एक्सप्लोरिंग हम खाली आउटसाइड कैंपस की नहीं करते हैं, हम एक सेल्फ एक्सप्लोरेशन भी करते हैं कि अभी तक मैं एक शेल में था, मेरी एक सर्टेन इमेज थी जो मेरी शायद टीचर्स के फीडबैक से या मेरे फ्रेंड्स के फीडबैक से बन गई थी. तो शायद अब एक मौका है कि मैं अपने अंदर के उस न्यू सेल्फ को डिस्कवर कर पाऊँ. सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ इंट्रोस्पेक्शंस दैट चिल्ड्रन गो थ्रू एंड व्हेन दे पुश देमसेल्व्स टू पार्टिसिपेट इन college events so they may discover that okay, I can organize events also. It's not just that I have to be always a public speaker or I have to be on the front end. I can do back end stuff also, or maybe I'm good in sports, so I can do something there. So there are so many avenues that open up for them, and that is how they shape their personality. So जैसे आपने friends की बात की, so in school friends are, again, it is everybody is my best friend.
Exactly.
So the real things hit them when they reach adulthood and when they are into real friendship making, which lasts probably for a lifetime. So those abilities to be able to decide who is the right fit, where my mental wavelength matches, who is that person who's going to be with me in thick and thin of things. So those decisions, they are now in that process to make. They may fail at times, but कोई बात नहीं. That is how we all learn. हम trust करना नहीं भूल सकते. We have to still keep believing in people, keep moving on. So it's all about how an individual perceives that change. अगर मेरा एटीट्यूड पॉजिटिव है उसकी तरफ, तो मुझे हर चैलेंज एक अपॉर्चुनिटी लगेगा.
बिल्कुल
राइट. और अगर मेरा एटीट्यूड नेगेटिव है तो मुझे कोई आसान सी चीज़ भी एकदम पहाड़ लगेगी. सो हाउ डू आई चेंज दैट चेंज इन एटीट्यूड? एंड आई थिंक दैट इज़ वेयर the role of counseling in schools is increasing. We are trying to build that from class 9th, 10th, so that they start in that habit of self-exploration. क्या मेरी स्ट्रेंथ्स हैं, क्या मेरी वीकनेसेस हैं, सो दैट जब वो एक पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म, एक यूनिवर्सिटी में पहुँचें तो वो अपने आप को शोकेस करने के लिए ऑलरेडी प्रिपेयर्ड हों, उनको एक स्क्रैच से शुरू ना करना पड़े. सो आई थिंक दैट इज़ वेयर दैट transition or that building helps, where we prep up the students to be future ready.
This is called bridging the gap.
Bridging the gap.
You are yourself, the school curriculum or the school premises helping the kid out that now you need to realize your own capabilities, that I have this thing good in myself and now I have to polish it.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, ma'am, one of the most important thing, your kid is not a kid now. He has grown, or he or she has grown into an adult now. This is need to be, taken care of each and every point when your kid enters into a स्कूल. सो व्हाट पेरेंट्स शुड डू, बिकॉज वो बहुत सारे डिलेमास होते हैं ना. अच्छा कैसे जाओगे, इतने बजे क्यों आए, अब घर पर क्यों नहीं पहुंचे, कॉल क्यों नहीं किया, क्या खाया बाहर का. दैट लॉट्स एंड लॉट्स ऑफ किड्स, बिकॉज बीइंग पेरेंट्स हमारे पास बहुत सारे सवाल होते हैं और बहुत सारे डिलेमास होते हैं. तो व्हाट आर पेरेंट्स शुड डू, बिकॉज इस ट्रांजिशन में, दिस ट्रांजिशन इज अ वेरी बिग ट्रांजिशन, वी शुड रियलाइज एंड वी शुड टेक केयर ऑफ इट.
आई थिंक हमारे बच्चे ये सवाल सुनकर बहुत खुश होंगे क्योंकि हमेशा ये स्ट्रगल रहती है एक टीनेज बच्चे और पेरेंट में, दैट हु इज राइट. So I think as parents it's important that you first believe in your child and have that trust, because if you are very skeptical and you're constantly calling them, constantly messaging them, तो आपके पास GPS है, आपके पास टेक्नोलॉजी है, आप सब कर सकते हैं, लेकिन एक ट्रस्ट जो अपने बच्चे पर रखना है, that how I believe that you will follow the right things. जो learnings आपने इतने सालों में moral values, उनको value education दिया है, वो सब अब is now put to test in real life. So have faith that आपने कोई गलत teaching नहीं दी है, and also do not be on the other extreme to just let your child be on his own. Because for any change, any transition, we need to handhold our child. जैसे जब वो छोटे थे आपने उनको उंगली पकड़ के चलना सिखाया, so अभी उनका हाथ छोड़ने का समय नहीं आया है, लेकिन थोड़ा कम पकड़ने का आया है. So you have to have very open communication with your child. उनसे पूछिए if they are facing any challenges, if they are finding anything difficult, उनकी एक friend बनकर उनसे बात कीजिए, अपने कॉलेज के किस्से उनसे डिस्कस कीजिए, so that they understand that जो मेरे साथ हो रहा है वो एक real चीज़ है. It happens with everyone. I am not the only one. So I think if we keep that channel of communication open, a lot of times parents can also be at ease that my child is not going the wrong way.
Exactly, and one should also accept that your child can also commit mistakes, yes, like you have done in your past or you are doing right now.
Yes.
कि जब तक हम गलतियां करेंगे नहीं तो हम उनसे सीखेंगे नहीं. Because being parents हम ये सोचते हैं हमारा बच्चे से कोई गलती ना हो जाए, बस वो सीधे रास्ते पर चले और सीधे रास्ते से वापस आए.
Yes.
But life is all about different uncertainties.
Yes.
And हम जब बहुत ज्यादा टोकते हैं वो फेज लाइफ का, जब हम ज्यादा एक्सप्लोर करते हैं सबसे ज्यादा. So it becomes a hassle for one कि ठीक है अब रोक दिया, अब इस नई चीज को ट्राई नहीं करना है या कुछ नया एक्सप्लोर नहीं करना है. So it is obstacle to your kids, his future as well as, or you say his destiny or his development. What do you say? That one should take care about this thing also.
बिल्कुल, देखिए एक guarded और एक measured risk लेना is always advisable. बिकॉज अगर हम रिस्क नहीं लेंगे, अगर हम एक्सप्लोर नहीं करेंगे, अगर हम अपने कंफर्ट जोन से निकलेंगे नहीं, तो जैसे मैंने बोला हमें अपने अंदर क्या प्रेजेंट है उसकी अनुभूति नहीं होगी.
बिल्कुल.
सो वो एक्सपीरियंस करने के लिए हमें रिस्क लेना है, लेकिन ऑफ कोर्स वी हैव टू गाइड आवर चिल्ड्रन टू नो द बाउंड्रीज, टू नो द डूज एंड डोंट्स, where to draw that line. That is very important to have a discussion about. That आपके आसपास बहुत कुछ हो रहा होगा, राइट? वो आपको चॉइस करना है कि मुझे ये करके कोई फ़ायदा है या नहीं है. Like I'll take a simple example. As children grow, there are a lot of peer influence, the peer pressure, especially in colleges, and easy accessibility to things. So risk taking की जब हम बात करते हैं तो वो negative भी हो सकता है कि okay, let's try substance abuse for example. So everything is readily available. So कुछ नहीं होता, एक बारी try करो. Now in that peer pressure, the child gives in. And he doesn't know where to draw the line. Because of friendship, he doesn't want to feel secluded. So he gives in to fit in. But that is where the parental intervention comes in. That have we prepared our child to know where to draw the line? What are the boundaries? What are the consequences of doing this? Is it healthy for me or not? Once that decision making comes in, it becomes much easier for the child to make choices. और वो इन नेगेटिव इन्फ्लुएंसेस से बचाकर अपने आप को पॉजिटिव की तरफ ले जा सकता है.
Very true. Instead of saying that these are the do's and don'ts,
Yes.
develop a sensibility.
Yes.
जिससे कि वो right choice करने में एकदम सक्षम हो जाए. This is
Absolutely.
right and this is wrong.
Yes.
Because our heart knows what is right and what is wrong, but उसके लिए एक sensibility develop करनी होती है.
बिल्कुल.
और वही sensibility हमें शायद अपने बच्चों में भी develop
Absolutely.
करनी है. Because as I said, they are growing into an adult. They are not your kids only. So, मैम, there are students और बहुत सारे बच्चे पूरे करिकुलम में, पूरे एकेडमिक ईयर में हम देखते हैं जब कोई नया एकेडमिक ईयर शुरू होता है तो स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम वन स्टेट टू द अदर स्टेट, फ्रॉम वन कंट्री टू द अदर कंट्री, दे कम्यूट फॉर द स्टडीज, फॉर द हायर स्टडीज. थिंग्स चेंजेस, जैसे कि हमने डिस्कस किया, थिंग्स चेंजेस, क्रॉस कल्चरल कम्युनिकेशन भी है और उसके साथ साथ हमारे बिहेवियरल चेंजेस होने एक बहुत ही लाजमी सी, बहुत ही नेचुरल सी बात है. सो व्हाट चेंजेस डू वी एक्सपेक्ट ओवर देयर? बिकॉज वही घर का करिकुलम, यानी कि घर का जो माहौल है, और उसके बाद अब जो हमने स्कूल में देखा, नाउ वी आर चेंजिंग अ स्टेट, वी आर चेंजिंग अ कंट्री, थिंग्स आर गोइंग टू बी एंटायरली डिफरेंट. हाउ शुड वन बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दैट?
Yeah, so I think ये challenges जो आपने बिल्कुल very rightly you've put them, that there will be psychological challenges, there will be cultural challenges. बहुत सारी चीज़ें होती हैं, कुछ चीज़ें हमारे दिमाग में as barriers sit होती हैं, where we are trying to say that as I have a barrier that okay, if I'm moving from North India to South India, I will not like the food. If I'm moving from one place to another, I will not be able to adapt to their language and culture. So these barriers, first of all, we have to drop. क्योंकि the moment हम एक judgmental attitude अपने अंदर ले आते हैं, हमारा आधा मोरल वहीं डाउन हो जाता है, बिकॉज हम एक प्रीसेट नोशन से आते हैं. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैव टू लुक एट ऑल द पॉजिटिव्स ऑफ दैट प्लेस. आजकल तो विद द हेल्प ऑफ इंटरनेट एवरीथिंग इज अवेलेबल एट द क्लिक ऑफ अ बटन. So explore the cultural aspect of that state, of that country, because even before you get into academics, you have to adapt to that place, that environment, that climate, that the rules of that country, the laws maybe. So there are so many things, and nowadays it is not just one-way traffic that Indian students are going abroad. There are so many foreign students coming and studying in India. So a lot of research students are doing to understand the culture, because adaptation and enculturation into that environment is very important for us to feel at ease. Once we are able to do that, that is when we look into the course, the community where we are, and then we look for like-minded people and create a new cohort, so to say.
Now, one of the most interesting questions I would like to ask from you: how important it is for one to teach their kids life skills at the school level?
Yes.
Because academically, our kid is getting everything at school. But now, being a parent, वो कहते हैं ना कि पढ़ लो, कुछ काम करने की जरूरत नहीं है, हम अपने आप करेंगे. Because हमारा एक डिलेमा होता है, एक सोच होती है, बस बच्चा अच्छे मार्क्स स्कोर कर ले और उससे ज्यादा सीखने की जरूरत नहीं है, लाइफ में करते रहना. But what you start learning at the early age, it becomes the part of your habit.
Yes.
क्योंकि आपको आदत हो जाती है कि आपको अपना काम खुद करना है. So should it be included in your kids' life कि अपने काम थोड़े थोड़े खुद करने शुरू करो. अपना खाना खाए, अपना टेबल खुद क्लीन करो, अपना बेड खुद साफ करो, जिससे कि जब बाहर पढ़ने जाओगे तो दिक्कत नहीं होती है.
वेरी वैलिड पॉइंट आई वुड से, क्योंकि बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स को स्पेशली एक धक्का लगता है कि मेरा बच्चा खुद लॉन्ड्री करेगा, मेरा बच्चा खुद ये करेगा, लेकिन उसको करना पड़ेगा. और वहाँ जाकर जब वो उसने घर में एक चम्मच भी नहीं उठा के रखा होता है तो उसके लिए बहुत दिक्कत आने वाली होती है. And this is the time that children feel that maybe I could have done this. So as parents and as children, I think some good qualities of the West we have to adopt this way also. Like in the West, people do their own work and they don't shy away from doing that. Similarly here, no matter आपकी जो ममता है, आपकी attachment है, सिर्फ इससे नहीं आनी चाहिए कि मैं अपने बच्चे को हर चीज़ हाथ में पकड़ा के दूँ. कई बारी it is also important for you to push your child. Like I'll give you a small example here. Eagle, जो इतनी deadly bird मानी जाती है, as a mother, eagle is a very courageous mother. So what it does is that it holds its baby into its mouth and takes to the mountain peak, and from there it pushes the child. Now, somebody can say that what a heartless mother she is. She's pushing her own child from the mountain cliff. but she's a courageous mother because she's letting the baby learn to fly. And that is what, as parents, we need to do. We have to push them from the edge to move out of their comfort zone and do everything that they are much more capable of. We only underestimate them out of our affection or out of our, worry for them, I would say. So कहीं ना कहीं मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बच्चे जब शुरू से, जैसे आपने बोला, घर से ही ये शिक्षा मिलती है. एंड like you rightly said, life skills as a program we do in schools also, because we know the importance that आज अगर हम बात करते हैं या एक इवन सिंपल कॉन्वर्सेशनल स्किल इज़ अ लाइफ स्किल. क्योंकि कई बार ऐसे बच्चे होते हैं जो टेक्निकली इतने अच्छे हो जाते हैं, IIT JEE क्रैक कर रहे हैं, लेकिन एक जॉब इंटरव्यू नहीं क्रैक कर पाते बिकॉज बात करने का कभी मौका ही नहीं मिला या कभी कोशिश ही नहीं करी. सो हर एस्पेक्ट, एंड दैट इज़ वाई schools and colleges are those areas where you develop your overall personality. It is not just about studying, it is not just about the course, it is not just about the curriculum. It is about how you hone your personality that matters.
Very true, very true. And after listening to you, there are lots and lots of questions which are appearing one after the another, and I wish to ask all those questions because all those students who might be watching us or would be watching us through our YouTube channel would be benefiting from this particular lecture, and we are going to carry forward this lecture. But we would like to thank you for giving your precious time as well as precious inputs to this particular session. So dear friends, keep watching us, keep giving us your feedbacks. Your feedbacks are very important for us. We would be discussing more, we would be giving you more. Thank you for watching us.